Hey, let's talk about it, cause honestly we need to talk about social issues, just uplifting my people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Come join the conversation. A connection's what we're creating. Yeah.
What's happening, everybody? How y'all doing today? So, what I want to talk about today, it might go over some people's head, you know what I'm saying? But it would only go over your head if you don't really want to grasp what I'm saying. And what I wanted to talk about is people that plan, right? Type A personalities, what they would say, right? And a lot of these people, they say, I'm a planner. I have to have, everything in order. I have to, what I'm saying? It has to be A, B, C, and D, right? And the problem with that is for those planners that don't include God. Now, let me show you how you don't include God, right? I am a firm believer that God never, in his plan, he never factors in comfort. Matter of fact, everything that God has for you is on the other side of being discomfort or having discomfort. I'm sorry, right? That's on the other side of that, right? There's all types of examples in the Bible, right? Noah, when he was building the ark, he's out there, people looking at him crazy. Like, what are you doing? It has not rained. Like, are you crazy? Like, what are you doing? like what are you doing, right? So in today's terms, imagine you going out in the middle of the city and you're building this gigantic ark. I'm talking about in today's society. People will be saying, what in the world are you doing? That's stupid. That's stupid, right? And in today's society, with the social media and this, that, and the other, your name would be plastered all over the thing, right? And if you don't factor in God, you might scrap that. And then here comes the flood. And I'm saying all of this because I'm going to get to my point, right? In my life, I had a plan, right? Like I had a plan. I thought it was a surefire plan. I thought it was going to be boom, 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 boom. And I didn't include God in my plan because a lot of times we write these plans based out of fear. And let me explain what I mean based out of fear. See, when you have a plan, you feel that X, Y, and Z should be happening for A to happen. X, Y, and Z should be happening for B to happen, right? And when it doesn't happen like that, you feel like, okay, well, it's not time for me to move. So a lot of times you find yourself stuck because timing isn't right. You find yourself in this merry-go-round because the time isn't right. But see, that's fear. Because sometimes God will tell you to move even when the landscape of the world is telling you not to. But because you started off with a plan, you mask that as you just being a type A person. I have to know this, that, and the other. And that's why you find yourself in certain positions. Now, for the people who the plan seems like it's working, you got that car, you got that house, you got this, that, and the other, but you're not happy. That's because God wasn't in it. Because when God is in something, it's a slow burn. God ain't no microwave. You know what I'm saying? He gonna put that oven on preheat. It's gotta, boom, then it's gonna beep, 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 beep. It's ready. Now you put the stuff in, right? That's how God moves, right? Because there is something that has to take place in every stage. When you cut that oven on and it preheats, it's because it has to get to that temperature. So a lot of times what people will do, and I get on my kids about this, they'll put it in early. Then it beep, beep, whatever. And then they take it out and they're like, it's still cold because you didn't let it do what it was supposed to do. Here you go thinking that you have a better mind than what that's supposed to do. And that's how some of us live life. We feel that we can skip steps. And a lot of times the reasons why we can feel that we can skip steps because somebody else did it. So you're looking at somebody else. Well, How they get that house? How they do that? I know I make more than them, so I know I should be able to do that. Then you run out there and you get the house. Now the house is in floor culture because it wasn't your time. But you don't know what that person had to go through to get it. Because maybe 10 years before that, they was following God's plan. Let me tell you something about myself. You know, I was in the military. People know that. When I was getting out of the military, you know, I had all of these people that were telling me, I got you. Just come on up in here. I got you. I got you. And all of those people fell through. So here I am sitting here like, did I make a mistake? Like, did I make a mistake getting out of the military? Like, what am I doing, right? But in the meantime, I was able to be there with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Be there with them, make sure that they was good, right? So I get in the workforce, whatever, fast forward, this, that, and the other, right? So I start advancing, and I thought it was because of me. And see, when you leave God out the equation, sometimes he got to tap you on the shoulder. So years later, my company, they went through a layoff. And a lot of people told me that they had me. Hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? My resume, everything was good with me, right? But every time they would try to help me, they would say, you too qualified, you too qualified, you too qualified. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? I still woke up at the same time. I still did everything, whatever, right? But in that time, let me tell you how God he just know what he's doing. My grandmother and grandfather, you know what I'm saying, was experiencing a lot of stuff. My grandfather was, you know what I'm saying, he battled with dementia. And, you know, it was getting very, very hard, right? So my grandmother was leaning on me for a lot of different things, right? And I was laid off. So I had the time. And every time she would hit me up, I would have to research something and this, that, and I never let her down. I never not answered that phone. I never let her down. Now, the company had laid off. It was June. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? But I was able to help them out in so many different ways. There was a fraud thing for my grandfather, right? And I had the time to research it and get it done, right? Like I had that time. Now, my grandmother didn't know. She didn't know I was laid off, because if she knew that I was laid off, she would have told me, oh, I don't want to be a bother with you. I had this, that, and other. No, I didn't tell her anything. And I did it. And God showed up and showed out for me that April. That not only did I get a new position, making more money, I'm advancing, I'm doing all of these different things, right? But that waiting period from June to April was some of the hardest times in my life because I was uncomfortable. But being uncomfortable caused me to grow. It caused me to really look inside myself and understand that when God says you move, that's when you move. And when you lean on your own understandings, this type of stuff can happen. So a lot of times people see me and they might see things that I might have or things that they think that I have. And that causes them to talk about me because they don't understand what I had to go through to get it. You see, my kids, right? My kids, you know what I'm saying? Honor roll, whatever, they doing their thing, right? And a lot of times as a parent, you know what I'm saying, it's a thankless job. I have people in my life that still don't know what I do for a living. You know what I'm saying? I have people in my life that like, they don't know, nor do they care. They just, you know what I'm saying? They just want to, when they want to ask me for something, they just want to know that I can do it, but they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know. So when I hear people talking about the struggle, when I hear people talk about, oh man, I got to get up, I got to get these kids, this, that, and other, like I've been doing it, right? Like I've been doing it, but you don't get a pat on your back for doing what you're supposed to do. I tell my kids, right? You know, if I know that your roof is an A+, right? I know that. And your floor is maybe an A-, right? You don't get, right, the praise for the A- because that's what I know what you can do. When you get that A+, then that's when it is, right? And I instill that in them. Now, in the beginning, it was just like, what? Like I got a B plus. Everybody else got C's. No. But you're not everybody else. Because what I see in you, it might take a little time for you to see it, but it's there. And I have to plant a seed. And this is a problem with a lot of people today. They don't know about planting seeds. They don't know about harvest. They don't know about any of this type of stuff, right? So when they plant that apple and expecting the orange, then it's everybody else's problem. Everybody else's problem. And that's why this social media, right? You run to social media as a way to explain yourself to people who don't care. A lot of times when people, they go on social media and they say, hey, I got this, man, I got this, I got that, blah, 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 right? And they're doing it, right? A lot of times it's not even true. A lot of times it's not even true. That's why you have to watch who you admire, because they're just showing you the highlight reels. They're not showing you the real thing. They show you that car, but they don't show you that they behind 4 months. They show you that house and they say that house is yours. It ain't yours. Yeah, you live in it, but it's not yours, right? But they come on social media as a way to say, hey, look at me. This is what I got. Then when people start asking them for money, they come on social media and be like, I'm tired of everybody asking everybody. You displaying it. You displaying it. I remember when growing up, we would get new, stuff for the house or whatever, right? And my grandfather would rip up the boxes. He would just rip them up, right? And one day I'm like, just put them down there at the street. But he used to say, well, you don't want nobody knowing what you got. Because when they know what you got, they might come in that house and try to take it. And that's what social media has done. Social media is the window to a lot of people's house. They show this stuff, right? And the problem is you try to act like you have everything together. So when things fall apart, now you're in a position that you can't ask for help because all you have shown is your highlight reels. And now you're struggling within yourself because you're like, I can't ask for help. I can't go to nobody and tell them, hey, I'm struggling up here because I present that I got it all together. That's why I do what I do. I do this and I might not ever go, super viral. But I feel like I'm doing God's work because somebody out there needs to hear what I'm saying. Somebody out there needs what God has put inside of you. That's why I get so frustrated when I hear people talk about the things that they want to do, but then they say, but everybody doing that. That market is saturated. Everybody doing that. Man, AI about to take over this, that, and the other. All of that's going to go away. What does that got to do with God wants for you? And that's what I'm talking about of really not having faith. See, people say they have faith and they have an outline of their life, but that outline doesn't measure up to what God says. How many people have 3 or 4 degrees, right? And those degrees don't amount to what they're doing. See, those degrees was a way to high side on you. Those degrees was to be able to say, I got 3 degrees. Yeah, you got 3 degrees, but you're working at Walmart, and there's nothing wrong with Walmart. But you're working at Walmart because those degrees had nothing to do with what you really wanted to do. You just wanted everybody to think that you were smart. So anyways, man, I'm going to get up out your space. I know this is long, but I just wanted to take the time out because somebody out there needed to hear this word. Just because you have a plan doesn't mean that you're a type A personality. Sometimes those plans are based in fear. And sometimes you have those plans and it's a A, B, C, and D, and you're stuck at B because the timing isn't right for C to you. The timing isn't right to you. But God said the timing is right. But because you have a laid out plan and you didn't include God in your plan, it ain't right. And now you look up and you're 55 years old and you still in the same position because timing never was right for you. God has no sense of time.
Hey, let's talk about it, cause honestly we need to talk about social issues, just uplifting my people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Come join the conversation. A connection's what we're creating. Yeah.